E começou... Guys, eu não vou nem... Ih, pera aí, nem liguei a câmera, né? Pera aí, pô.
We've seen Kale pair well with Galio too, so another pick for Zeus in the top lane that he could consider later on in the draft. I don't think he wants to be picking it up this early blind, but
salve, guys, beleza?
Owner
Hoje é dia de L Clássico. Hoje é dia de T1 versus Doidos. Eu não vou nem abrir hoje o Notepad e tentar prever os bans, entendeu? Preguiça e falta de manjar são os motivos de hoje, entendeu? O que eu sei é que Lucian continua sendo banido na headside, Cork tá forte, GP tá forte também, então mais ou menos isso que eu sei só. O draft continua bem parecido com o patch, sem ser o durability patch, sabe? Tá parecido com o draft da MSI.
Away from the Kai'Sa pick potentially, because Kai'Sa is very strong into this Ezreal and the Twisted Fate draft. I'm gonna lock up the Karma here instead, wanting to have that strong pushing power on blue side, which can lead to some jungle advantages. And T1, I mean, Camille is still an option here. Would be very low on magic damage in terms of what we've seen so far.
Fazer bagulho lá, né?
They do have that option. The problem is that Damwon haven't yet let us know what that top matchup is going to be. So it could be a heavy risk here for T1. But they lock it in regardless.
Yeah, that is going to be the choice.
Mano, essa Camille não dá suporte não, né? Pelo amor de Deus.
Easy to execute already. You kind of press your R buttons.
O Faker de galho, caramba, mano, a última vez que eu vi Faker de galho, eu tava assistindo o jogo da RNG, mano, em 2017. Caraca, o Pop ia encher o saco aqui mesmo. Mano, o Pop, eu acho que eles vão deixar o draft último pick, mano. É que eu não sei, mano, onde tá essa Camille. Eles vão picar o The Care primeiro, mano, com certeza. A The Care vai banir Kalista aqui. Kalista e Kai'Sa, certeza, é possível. Se deixar passar Kalista, ué, eu quero pintar o cabelo de novo. Outro maluco.
But I mean, they could start removing some supports. Poppy is such a strong counter to what T1 is doing, so smart ban there, especially because Damwon is a frontliner in this comp.
Still some very great kind of disengage and peel options that Damwon can go for with these bans. The Gwen is taken off the board, but you consider like a Gragas can be really good. Even like a Kindred, Canyon's not
really a big
that could be another option.
Eu não duvido se ele Camille de suporte, mano. Camille de galho é muito bom, só que aí... Certo?
Before the second phase. So they have a lot of ways they can kind of finagle their way around this final rotation.
Ué,
instead of Leona to ban the Nautilus here,
eles vão picar Kalista
can be
aqui.
quite strong at locking down Ezreal.
É que eu não sei se é bom contra EZ e Karma,
since
mas
Camille's face up Jax is also a strong pick. Like they took away the Gwen, but we could see Nugri's Jax. A little bit surprised to see this one with this rather than the Jhin. Does have a very long range and has great follow-up damage. Basically, no matter where she is when the engage comes through, she'll be able to hit those shots. You can tell he's not very confident about either of these picks, and it's like we'll go down the Xayah path instead.
Yeah, looking like Xayah Rakan in this case. Obviously, the Rakan is another huge engage opportunity to go along with this, and the Xayah is very safe, but will struggle against the range of DK.
I think all you need is a tank now is Damwon Kia. You know, if it's not going to be lethality, Xayah feels weaker with this composition, but then if it's lethality Xayah, like if it's not lethality Xayah, you're like, okay, I break the tank, but then your comp is weaker through the mid game, so you're kind of in a catch-22 here. I would love this. This is fantastic. You've got some extra magic damage now in this comp. You can do so much damage when they're on top of you. You proc that passive, that AoE that Nugri's gonna have, and there's almost no way to kill him. He will be able to play in a fantastic weak side. You play around your bot 2v2.
Eu vou falar de novo
this
aqui,
is some good drafting, and I mean Kindred, you put it on top of this, it's incredible. This is another disengage option with the pillar here for Canyon to play Trundle.
Uniforme da DK, obviamente eu Não usaria, acho.
And you can itemize with Mordekaiser into a little bit of magic resistance. I think there were some other better tanks there that they could have chosen.
Não, Renata Glass, pelo amor de Deus, não faz nada aqui.
Aspect of this, because T1 basically have no magic damage.
O bicho não faz nada.
Maybe not a Recon. He is hovering some other stuff. Renata Glass is rated very highly just across the board, but especially T1 do love this pick. Area has played, I think, at least once or twice already.
Yeah, 1-0 on the pick.
Yeah.
It'll be his second time, it looks like here. Switches to the pike.
Okay.
This composition could not be more all-in. .cfg.
Mano, e Camille
we'll see if there is a swap bug here or not, but
tem alguma coisa no
que é isso, LCK? Gente.
É impossível não sentir.
Pera, deixa eu tirar o áudio aqui, pera aí, pô. Aê. Calma aí, mano. Que é isso aqui? Vou abrir qualquer outra guia aqui também, ó. Não, ad na minha... Entendeu? No meu vídeo não, velho. Sai fora. Vou abrir outra coisa aqui por enquanto. Que isso, cara? Hoje tem Imperial e... Ah, é o plano turco, mano. Hoje é Imperial e plano turco. Pode crer, mano. Caraca, 3 anúncios não foi nem o da Vivo ainda. Caramba. Deixa eu ver um negócio aqui. Quando que é Big Jogo Win? Ué. Aí. Tá, beleza. Ah, a Ganda fez o quê? Caramba. Nossa, esse cara é muito ruim, mano. O que esse cara tá fazendo no time, velho? É isso que eu queria ver. De novo. Toda vez esse cara tá muito... Mano, muito mal, velho. Muito mal. Ih, bugou o jogo? Mano, eu achei estranho. Primeira coisa, eu achei muito estranho. First Pick TF. Né? First Pick TF a gente agora já sabe que tá tendo muito counter. Durability patch não ajuda muito o TF também. E eu achei muito estranho. Eu achei estranho também, obviamente, o galho do Faker, mas... Não que ele seja ruim de galho, pelo amor de Deus. O cara jogou 5 vezes numa MD5 lá em 2017. Não tem como ele ter esquecido como é que joga, mano. Mas, tipo, ele mesmo diz ele que é o melhor champ dele. Ele diz que, na opinião dele, é o melhor champ dele uma vez. Então, achei meio estranho ele ter picado aí, porque ele não costuma picar, mas... É uma resposta muito boa pra TF, porque a lane phase do TF não é tão forte. Tipo, pra punir, assim, não é um dos melhores champs pra punir, né? Ó, e o Zeuslol, vem com o Zeuslol. O que é JP? Eles vão falar, peraí. Deixa eu ver. Jungle Proximity. Isso é bom ou isso é ruim? Eu não sei. Eu acho que quanto menos Jungle Proximity... Acho que falei errado. Mano, não sei falar isso, velho. Não sei falar isso, não. Proximity. Ah, eu falei certo. Falei certo, tá. Acho que quanto menos Jungle Proximity... Você acha? Quem não, né? Nossa. É disso? Não sei quem que é, velho. Meu Deus, é tudo igual, né? Mano, eu não sei falar, velho. Jungle Proximity. Tá, enfim. Quanto menos acho que é melhor, porque quer dizer que você é o lane, realmente é o Lane Kingdom, né? Você não ganhou por causa do jungle. É o cara que menos foi gankado, é isso. Teoricamente, assim, é o cara que ficou mais longe do jungle até os 14 min. Olha o Showmaker Mid King ali. Jungle Proximity. Tá aí. Damage by Players. Faker é o que dá menos dano. Showmaker é o segundo. Nossa, mid lane não dá dano mais. Vem com Zeuslol, 30%, mano. Que cara bom. Segundo. Ué, como assim? Não entendi. Por que tem 2 seconds? Não entendi. Ó, o cara falando que o Underlaw só tá jogando de Viego, né? E é verdade. E o Canyon tá jogando mais champions que dá mais dano, tipo o Graves, não sei o que. 4% de diferença. Só. Eu acho que é pouco, né? Deixa eu ver. Olha o Canyon Law. Não é o Canyon Law, é o que dá isso daí? Mano. Ferrando, velho. Olha o pingo do TFT. Olha o Psyduck. Nossa, igualzinho, tio. Não é possível que o cara desenhou isso aí. Ah, não. Ah, não vou... Ah, inclusive eu não vou cortar esse bagulho aqui não, mas vou... Nossa, mano, eu já vi esse cara aí do lado antes, mano. O gigantão ali, mano. O gordo original ali. Não queria chamar ele de gordo original, mas... Não consegui. Ah, de novo, cara. Que é isso? Não, pera aí, mano. Não é possível. Não, 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 não. Pera aí, mano. Deixa eu ver um negócio aqui. Pera aí. Ah, se tiver no YouTube, eu vou assistir no YouTube, véio. Pelo amor de Deus. Muito ad, cara. Olha isso. Eu só assisto ad nesse... Mano, velho. Que isso, cara. Olha isso. Só tem ad. Gente. Ah, tô ficando nervoso. Tô ficando nervoso. Aí começou. Ah, mano. Não vou assistir aqui não, velho. Pelo amor de Deus. Vou assistir aqui, mano. Sai fora, velho. Olha o Wonderlol com a skin estranha do Lee Sin. Skin do Faker de galho, top 10. Eu gostei desse draft do mid, viu? Falar pra você. Eu achei estranho eles terem pegado o Lee Sin, mano. Eu não sei se o Durability Patch ajuda muito o Lee Sin. Eu acho que não ajuda muito não, mano. Mas tudo bem, né? Nossa, o Zeuslol. Olha o Zeuslol, velho. Pera aí, mano. O cara pegou First Strike e cool, mano. Caraca, mano. Eu estou impressionado, velho. Com a audácia do Zeuslol. O cara é realmente o Lane Kingdom, não tem jeito. Caraca, Faker. Nossa, tomou tapa também, né? É foda, mano. Olha, ele tá de second wind e um flint. Caraca, mano. Que um flint é necessário, mano? Porque se for ver, só tem TF de CC mesmo, né? O W da Karma, mas o W da Karma, mano, zoado, né? Ah, sei lá. Eu não costumo lembrar do W da Karma como puta CC, sabe? Olha só. Não frisou essa wave. Caraca, o Showmaker só perdeu 2 de TF na vida? Na vida não, né? Mas na LCK, enfim. Caramba. Nossa, mano. Caramba. Por isso que o cara pica first pick, né? Ih, Faker foi de caixa. Nossa, certinho, mano. Caramba. Vou ter que bater palma, pelo menos, né? Eu sou... ADK é tipo Palmeiras pra mim, né? Eu sou corintiano, no caso. Não sou corintiano, entendeu? Mas sou corintiano, sabe? É o famoso sou corintiano porque minha família é corintiana, entendeu? Enfim. Mas se eu sou corintiano, ADK é tipo tipo Palmeiras, né? Pra mim. Mas aí eu tive que bater palma, né, mano? É tipo você, entendeu? Entendeu? É tipo você torce pro Liverpool ou pro Barcelona, mas Barcelona em 2022 que é QW, né? Enfim. Você torce pro Liverpool e chega na final, você vai assistir o Real Madrid, entendeu? O Benzema dá um gol de bicicleta. Você é obrigado a bater palma, né? Não é? Ué. Você é obrigado a bater palma. Pô, o cara deu um gol. Tá vendo se eu tinha me desmutado aqui, peraí. Calma.
That the route rather he's looking for, and Duckdom gets the W on, waits, and then engages on it. And basically the maximum timer there just to get the extra value of poke onto Gumiusi.
E a final da Champions.
Korea hasn't had the greatest time yet in the early parts of this.
Se eu dei o
It's
time,
really
mas o cara
difficult
dá
to play Pike
o cara é
into
mó
Ezreal
famoso.
Karma. Just straight
Pão
up,
de bola.
you have a lot of kill power
cara não
in
é
mid-game fights, and your extra gold you can give
o cara
can
não
be huge, but
é
you know, against this lane, like Ezreal sits so
ele dá
far back,
gol
he
de
can avoid you.
bicicleta, mano. Tem como, né? Você é obrigado.
A nice little trade here. He's going to pull Zeus
Pé,
in.
que
He's
isso
got
que tá
that
acontecendo aqui,
passive,
gente?
taking Zeus in a little bit of trouble now as the Q comes in.
Era óbvio que isso ia acontecer.
Oh,
Que flash
man,
foi
he
esse, Zeuslol?
predicts the flash, and he's just going to get a solo kill on the Zeus
Não,
just
Zeuslol,
like
que
that
flash
as the
foi
flash
esse,
comes in
Zeuslol?
here from Kellen. He's going to get
Puta
blown
flash
speared into
ruim,
it.
mano.
Duckdom
É
gets
óbvio
in
que o cara
front
vai
of the Q,
flashar
but it
atrás,
does
mano.
not
Você tinha que
matter.
flashar meio que pro
As
lado,
that will
assim, pelo
still be
menos,
enough
né?
damage
Pelo
to
menos você
take
tá
down
flashar pro
Kellen.
lado, cara.
So the kill goes over to Owner here on the bottom side. So first blood,
E aqui no
having that
bot
extra
não
gold
pode,
on the top
né?
side for Nuguri is pretty significant. I think that kill is much more impactful, especially because it's going to slow down the Camille on the top side of the map. Now she built Call, she's already kind of aware that this is going to be a bit of a slower state,
Tá,
but
temos problema
Nuguri
também.
once again playing
Muitos
aggressive,
flashes queimados, né?
highest forward percentage in the LCK, and
Pera, como é que
he
perdeu
just
isso
plays
aí?
this so well. And what's so great about this too is Nuguri's never at any risk here. He knows how much damage he can do with this, and he went for Doran's ring. And he's just going to sit in the minion wave. If he messes this up or Camille actually gets away, then he just clears the wave with the passive too. In no moment was he in danger of actually making an error here. At worst case scenario, he trades flashes, doesn't get the kill, but still puts Camille in a terrible wave state. So he wins on all fronts. Now this is just a hook that connects here as comes down. Unfortunate. And as you said, the block there isn't good enough to save him, but it was still cool to watch.
It's very cool, but he was also standing right next to Kellen, so Owner's like, okay, well, I'll just kill him, he's right here anyway. And yeah, Nuguri did not miss a single ability. And really, the grasp is what pulled Zeus in and kind of made him very vulnerable, especially at this level. Of course, the hook shot is going to have a very long cooldown. So once you're in, you're in.
The flash Q, though, was just, I mean...
Yeah.
Doesn't get cooler than that.
Calma.
Especially with Mordekaiser, because you just kind of slam it down, you know?
Zeuslol, você... Aí.
Very obvious.
Pegou esse cara,
Zeus's face.
Beleza. Você viu, mano? Só o passinho ali e ele depois pegou, mano. Ele baitou o cara pra quem quer pegar naquela live e... Deu passe, depois pegou depois. E agora? Como é que pra first strike perdeu o X1?
I mean,
Acabou a top
it's all
lane,
coming up down one here in the early game. Now, obviously, that kill on the bottom side is pretty big and, you know, can help relieve some of the Ezreal pressure in lane.
Cara,
but he's still keeping up in CS.
Foda que
and the kill went over
no top
to
agora
the
não tem mais play, né?
not the Xayah,
O
not
cara
the
foi
Pike.
muito bom, mano. No top não tem mais play, né?
3-6 for Keria, you're not
O
getting
que acontece no top agora, mano?
Still
não tem como. Muito Faker vai rodar o mapa pro top.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it does look like they have relieved a nice amount of
Galho
pressure.
Camille é um dos combos mais quebrados.
So that is one thing that T1 can be happy about. As Zeus is, you know, he's very respectful now. He picked up the scene after going back as Little trade here. We do have Owner in, and Showmaker will have to flash this one. Gold card not going to connect under the turret. And yeah, no flash for Owner. Otherwise, that could have been a potential big
0-0 flash do Showmaker agora.
Really close call there. Showmaker had cleanse as well, but is just so smart to flash instead
Eu acho então que não vai ter
to play that one out
como
against
não vai ter
Pick. You're not
muito
going to have a good time. He gets away with it.
O jogo vai dar uma estalada.
Of course, lose his
Vai
flash
espalar?
and is vulnerable, but it was a good setup there
Stall,
from Faker. Owner
vai dar uma
having the Q
estalada.
to connect over the wall.
Estalada, que é o portuguesado.
But the unsuccessful play in the back timing allows
Vai dar
Doidos to start this arrow first.
enrolada,
Level
uma
6 for
paradinha.
Showmaker means he can come over here at any time. I think T1 would be wise to back away.
Vai dar uma
And they will get away with this
estalada.
for free. Gumi Usi, however, rotated all the way up, so will not actually gain any advantages on the bottom side of the map.
Rotacionou
and not
pra
only him, Owner was trying to do the Gromp blue at the same time. He had to walk all the way up, and now he's just going all the way down to this dragon. They should be able to get it, especially because Damwon did commit a couple of members, especially Canyon up to the top side of the map. As Owner, by the way, is 3-2. That is ridiculous on this pick. Sure, he's happy that Lee Sin is
Caraca, mais que o Showmaker, mano. 17
This player has
ele
been
tá
playing
20
for 1 year,
barras.
and he has 22 games on this pick and is 20-2. Just to add some additional context, like
Tranquilo, mano. O chat da...
pretty good. If you didn't know who this was, you'd be like, oh, so he's probably been playing for like 6 years to have a crazy stat like that, and that many games on it. Nope, just one.
O chat do tudo meio magro, né, mas...
Here's Carrier again. The flash coming in. They're really trying to get on top of Kellen here, who does not have his flash. Very well timed by them, but at the end of the day,
eu imaginava que,
really able to secure any kills or anything like that.
Queria flashar pra Hukai.
Just the heal out of Duck Dom.
Unfortunate, you know, but you've got to be looking for plays like that. But this is the problem with T1's comp into a very experienced team and a very experienced pot duo, and Duck Dom and Kellen have played together for so long, and it's Ezreal, right? And that's why they decided to flash for the play on the Karma. We'll secure them the Drake, of course, so not completely worthless of a move here from T1, but you know, a weaker team just falls over to Gumi Usikaria in this lane, and T1 just get a massive lead, but it's Damwon we're talking about here, and the top side advantage that Nuguri already has makes playing the map so much more dangerous, because you know Canyon is going to be bottom side most of the time, so you've got to be really careful about committing further on plays like that.
Não sei se existe galho full tank ainda, mas se existe, não nessa partida mais.
You know, T1,
que não tá ruim de dar dano aqui,
we're going to see the Galio ult committed.
Yeah, but Nuguri is the Mordekaiser, pulls Zeus in, and Zeus has to flash while in the Death Realm. Showmaker just waiting for that one, but he gets pulled in a huge taunt onto two of them, and finally, Damwon do come up. Zeus in a lot of trouble, and now Damwon are the ones that are turning this one around. The damage not quite there for T1. As the pull comes in, and Owner's going to go down. That is a double kill for Nuguri, who is now 3-0 on the Mordekaiser.
So difficult to kill the Mordekaiser because he has his ultimate, of course, and he's just able to survive through so much damage here with the Leeching Leer. He's got a Blasting Wand as well, so I mean, he's got a decent amount of AP here early in the game. Killing him is so hard, which is why he's picked in this case. He wasn't supposed to get that first early kill, but now, I mean, this is basically the game ending with this attempted play from T1. It's not over completely, and I'm not trying to really get ahead of ourselves here, but the fact that the Mordekaiser now is 3-0 is going to back and probably be able to pick up that Riftmaker, as he does, as the words come out of my mouth. He is now completely unkillable. You're struggling to make plays on the bottom side because Ezreal's so mobile, he's got the Karma with him, and they tried several times. Like, Keria is really attempting to make plays, it's not like he's just sitting down there lazy. But this is why you play weak side Mordekaiser. He's ahead in this case.
He's calling for it before Zeus even hops in. He's like, yeah, please cover me, they're here, you know.
And this bar, how much time calls for Camille having no flash. And look at his shield bar here, that he spent this late in the fight, flashes, because he didn't have to use that at any point earlier on in the fight. He ulted instead. This is crazy, and he knows everybody has no ult, and like, the follow-up here is so clean from the Twisted Fate. Because the Twisted Fate is also global, I mean, it's...
Faker in some trouble now. He's got gold carded now as well after getting leashed, trying desperately to stop this Rift Herald from going down. Take a look at the state of the top lane too. Zeus does not have a completed item here. As the plates will go over to Damwon Kia. They're really trying to push this in early. Take all the momentum out of T1's sails. that, you know, they didn't have much to begin with in the beginning of this game. Owner in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to kick Canyon away. They're considering going in now, but Owner's like, no. Yeah, I mean, can't really do that. Right?
Nuggery's here. Showmaker has ult. You do not want to push any further. They got to, like, yoink that red buff out to take it. And they will, but it's going to be at the cost of another turret plate here on the top side. Zeus is just down.
Ice Pillar, chama. Nem sei.
This game is well and truly in Dom 1's grasp right now. Especially when Nuggery hits that.
Yes.
Which he has been doing very well so far. Because 25 gold
Pillar of Ice,
is the only place that we saw a gold advantage, and now it's just been short up. We're basically dead even here on the bottom side. Which also favors, because it's Lethality Saya in this case, the Ezreal. So
Mas também tá tudo no Nuguri
it's going to take T1 actually will have to identify, I think, that they need to slow this game down now. If they could somehow miraculously take second break here without a team fight, with the vision they have, maybe that's one way, because they're going to have to basically go to Supreme late game where they could just instantly collapse on the Ezreal or the Twisted Fate in every fight and hope for the best.
Sei lá.
And like when you're hoping that your Camille Galio comp is going to like 35 minutes,
you know the game is probably lost.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of an issue, especially when the side is like this. Like, Camille's going to be so far behind, she's not really going to be able to deal very well in the 1v1 for a very long time. I mean, we might have to see 3 items.
Imagina, mas pensando bem mesmo,
we're even really going to get there. I'd like to see Dom1 continue to keep up the pressure. You know, they were able to get this very nice bait actually from Showmaker, as Faker does take it, and no flash, so he's just dead here.
Yep. Duckdom able to put the True Shot barrage in as well. So what's happening in live, by the way, is T1 double down on that push bottom side. Guma gets a turret, and they have that vision set up for the Drake. So I think they will be able to get that Drake without a fight that I was talking about. And Dom1 Kia, of course, you know, despite their lead, they're still kind of like, all right, let's not take any unnecessary fights where we don't have vision. They will avoid it, but they're going to get Herald. But this is something that T1 needed. And they got the turret, they got the second Drake. There's no threat of Dom1 Kia trying to close the door early. This kind of guarantees us at least like a 28-30 minute game. I think best case scenario, the fastest Dom1 can close it. But T1 need to keep getting objectives without fights. Because winning a fight right now is... It's not on the table. It's not one of those Twisted Fate cards right now.
They definitely need some more time. You can see that this Rift Herald is going to come down. It's looking good to take this one down as another grasp is going to get Owner in. He has to flash. So there goes your playmaking on the Lee Sin. Not that you really were looking to make plays at this point, but still definitely not going to feel good, as at least Owner does come back in and picks up the smite on the Rift Herald.
That pillar!
Second
It's nasty
charge.
Too. Yeah, I mean,
it is a stinky pillar, I agree. Yeah, it's filthy.
There's just so much damage given over for free because the placement is so good on that. Yeah, they're just stuck. I can't walk back. And Duckdom's like, I'm just going to keep hitting Qs, and you guys are just going to take a lot of damage.
Atrapalhou demais, eu não vi o Pilar, mas tô moscando aqui.
I hate that this draft ended up going this way so heavily, and then with Nuggery making an outplay topside against, you know, rookie Zeus here.
Okay, let's see how this one goes. Might force the Death Realm to come out once again. There it is. He's getting on top of Zeus now, and look at the damage that's coming out. Zeus with a really nice flash in the Death Realm, though. It's the damage. Zeus will win the trade, and Canyon gets baited into trying to go for the kill. And immediately T1 finally gets something on their table.
So they do, in fact, and you know, Nuggery had flash, could have tried to pull the Death Realm closer to turret there, but decided he was going to try to buy time for rotation in. Showmaker has ult, but he's on the wrong side of the map. Does not, of course, have teleport either. So trying to buy time there and trying to delay it early instead of I think they wanted to be super greedy on turning this rather than just escaping, and they get punished for it. So 2 kills going over to the side of T1. Here's 2 critical kills, getting the shutdown on the Nuggery as well is pretty massive. This pick alone is not enough to bring T1 back to the game, but moves like this, you know, that they shouldn't even be allowed to get, are going to be massive. And it's a high-risk play from T1 as well, because again, you're diving onto a Rift Maker, Mordekaiser.
Mordekaiser, yeah. Watch the outplay here. This is so critical.
Yeah, the flash there is
Errou. Nossa, vem com o Zeuslol, mano.
Canyon tries to flash for it.
Nice.
That's everything. It's huge.
And notice that obviously Showmaker is not here for any of this on the bottom side. I think Nuguri maybe is miscommunication, hoping that he's going to buy enough time for that to come over there.
Imagina. And
also, like you said, without that perfect counterplay, like, he actually does get
Agora
a kill, and this is a trade, which is not good enough.
Yeah. Vem com o Zeuslol.
And you know, without the damage consistently from the Camille, who knows if T1 even pick up any kills, right? It would have been a little bit dicey. So they were playing on a knife's edge, and it certainly does work out for them. Look at this. T1 actually do pick up the gold lead here. This is against the TF as well. And the amounts that Nuguri did get fed, and even the turret did go down in the mid lane here. Note that T1 were able to pick up 2 turrets of their own, one down in the bottom side and now one in the top side as well. So doing a good job of evening up the gold, and with those 2 early Drakes, you can say they are right back in the game.
Yeah, because now they can start putting a threat on this Hex Texel, which is, you know, we haven't talked about that too much just yet, but that's one of the best Drakes they can get with this composition. In fact, I would go as far as say it is the best, because you're already going to struggle to get away from the Camille Galio, the Pike, Zaya, you put all of that on top of an extra slow that teams around Damwon Kia. It's going to be massively helpful in securing the win for them. They will have to be able to stick the landing on that 4th Drake fight, though.
Enfim.
Things got tense for a moment there, but Carrier will choose life.
Yeah.
And walk away.
Dele no...
Scary.
Acho que é no Instagram mesmo. Eu não sei se pronuncia assim, mas eu uso os Zeuslol.
You have the Sunderer from Canyon. Typical build from Showmaker. Just take a look at the builds. You already mentioned the lethality Zaya, of course, in this game.
I want to point out the deep vision that T1 has across the map with that last win on the top side. They really turned this into their map, and part of why Carrier was top side is because he's running on Glaive as he has
padrão, né? Padrão máscara.
This is one way that it becomes very difficult to actually take map
Zeuslol ganha esse X1. Não, ele tá chamando a galera.
Here we go again.
Não, mas vai dar ruim isso aí, cara. O Death filtrou já. Ele já chamou. Nossa, dessa vez foi o número que chamou o Death Realm. Caramba.
They're just considering pushing Showmaker away. They do exactly that. As the Death Realm does end, and now Nuguri's in trouble. Owner's able to set up the kick flash, and now the rotation from Damwon looks a bit slow. Here comes Canyon, though.
Eles pararam o Faker, acho que eles deram o pilar. O Canyon deu o pilar pro Faker.
As everybody else is just on the run, and Owner, he's still alive actually, he's not going to go down either. And the kiting here is huge from the side of T1, nobody goes down.
But can T1 get the Drake is the question. You know, they're pushed away, they have to defend. This is actually a timeout, no way. No way, okay.
Well, he spots the teleporting Camille.
Ah, olha só, mano.
If that was about a second faster, the back from Owner, it does kill him.
Yeah.
So,
caramba.
They're gonna teleport, like you said, because they need this.
Mano, eu ia falar isso, um sec antes que o Owner da base, eu ia falar na verdade que um sec depois que ele luta, né? Eu ia falar diferente.
The only ult that's available,
eles iam pegar o Owner low, mano, base, né?
Everything else is down, obviously, the mantra from Karma, a little bit of a special case.
Ah lá, mano, e o chat do...
Damwon are just not gonna let this go without a fight regardless, though. Owner
did
gamers,
right now,
though. The flash comes in, big taunt, a huge summoner ability, and they get ducked on. 100-0, just like that. And now this is the T1 that we have seen all in the past. They're taking that confidence with the big turnaround in the mid game.
Nossa, T1 tá parecendo a DK antigamente, né, mano? DK vs T1 antigamente, que era só comeback chato. Podia ter fazer 5 plays, assim que davam certo, era 2k de gold diff, com 5 plays, e depois eles perdiam o jogo, mano.
And a ton of gold and a Baron. And they already had vision control on both top and bottom. And with Umbral Glaive, like, you're never going to get that one back as Damwon Kia, basically ever. And they have a composition that looks like it had no chance of coming back in this game, but 2 critical topside plays, and then the follow-up on the Drake. The setup here is good from Faker, playing around Vision so incredibly well. He locks the door on this Baron, no one can come over and contest. T1 looked down and out, then it looks like, okay, maybe they can come back, and after this play, that leads to the Drake, it's like, okay, how did T1 lose this? You know, and this has been the story of T1 this season so far. Some shaky mid-games, but the clutch, exact correct mechanical plays in mid to late game. That's how they turn those games around against KT. That's how they turn that game around against Notion. And in the game that looked unwinnable after that topside control, T1 are able to escape here. Owner has got that burn on him. He is, of course, stunned and just barely is able to escape. Yeah. And then we'll watch this Drake fight, because this is where Damwon Kia just walks straight into this one. Flash forward here from Faker into the taunt.
Yeah, Duckdom he's leading the charge. He's Ezreal. He's like, well, you can't kill me. I've got Flash and I'm Ezreal. Well, I mean, if you don't react fast enough and you're that far up that your path back is actually blocked by a taunt, then yeah, you are going to
passa tempo ele não fica tão forte.
In that case, just a really good heads-up play from Faker. That is what you come to expect from him, as they might just try to bully Nuggery here once again, but with the turrets clearing out most of the minions.
First stack foi de caixa por causa da torre.
Trying to get a few more of these shots through on the cannon. Not going to be able to take the turret out without any further dive, though, and that's what Mordekaiser's going to do so well defensively in this composition. T1 could now be happy that the game goes super long in their worst case scenario where they can just instantly blow up Duckdom again. That was when Faker had a really nice flash taunt play, but imagine a Camille on top of him as well when they have all summoners and the vision control.
Nossa, cara, que reflexo.
Careful, buddy.
O Nuguri tem menos reflexo que eu quero, nem que o Nuguri dormir. É a aposentadoria.
To get out of there. It's okay, but T1 will continue to push the issue here.
Queria passar do lado dele, ele nem apertou nada,
like both of these turrets will fall.
Low.
Yeah, and, you know, Mordekaiser, he's great in terms of playing weak side, but now that he's fallen behind, now there's even a stopwatch on Zeus. He only needed 2.5 items, I guess, because if it goes into Death Realm, he can out-damage the Mordekaiser, and he's just going to stopwatch, so he'll be totally fine.
Owner. Pera, o Owner tem 2 levels na frente do Canyon, como?
The Trundle, you know, from ahead, we saw the power, but now from up behind, certainly kind of just a walking ward. He does have those anathemas chains.
Nossa,
yeah. See if he can make anything happen here. Zeus is going to get tethered up. Might have to be left alone. He is going to use his stopwatch as well, as they're looking to turn it around. Owner goes in. Not sure about that. Duckdom's over the wall, just raining hell on them, but now Gumayusi's got position. Good pillar, though, to block the escape as T1 looks like they went a bit deep, and now it's Damwon's turn to try to turn this game. As only 2 members of T1 will get out of there.
Deep dive here for T1, and you can respect the choice, because if they are able to make this happen, and they were so close to actually pulling it off, then you probably just win the game. You get an inhibitor, and then there's just no way they can contest you on Hex Break, which spawns in like less than 2 minutes after this. So the decision to go back in here after Duckdom and crew go in is based on the idea that they can kill the Ezreal. But Duckdom's just over the wall free hitting here. He's Ezreal, so if you get another AD carry like that, you probably kill them, and Owner tries to walk
over the wall too.
Eu vi que a ult não foi muito, tipo, a ult do Owner saiu torta, mas eu não sei se saiu torta.
It's rough, you know, if you kick
torta mesmo.
over the wall there,
porque se saiu torta mesmo, normal, aí foi intencional,
isso foi, tipo, não foi intencional, foi muito boa, né? Porque você separou o EZ, não é ruim separar o EZ às vezes, né? Mas você separou o EZ longe do time, então separar o EZ perto do time é bom, separar o EZ longe do time não, né? Faltou, né? Se o EZ fosse quicado pra perto do time ali, mano, perto do carry do Guma, aí beleza. Até daria certo a play, eu acho. Existia um monte que dava certo, mas eu acho que ainda assim ia dar errado. Aquilo ali não era play, nem aqui nem na China.
Suppose the durability patch helping him out a bit.
O Zeuslol já tá no frango. O Nuguri spotou, mano. Ele já sabe, né, do Zeuslol. Olha lá. Já sabe. Faker vai de frango, hein? Tá ruim esse aqui, né?
Underneath everybody, that's going to be Gumayusi in some trouble, but it is Zaya after all, as the gold card comes in, and the damage is there to kill him anyway, as the Dragon will go the way of T1, though. They're going to pick up the soul, as Faker here nearly able to take down Showmaker as well, and with no Baron available for a minute, this is a big win for T1.
E pega o Drag, pra mim tá bom.
Even though they
se sacrificar, se pegar o Drag
you know, someone in a red like his positioning though doesn't matter. Faker and crew are ready to actually win the more crucial objectives. The team fight, That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for the smite on the Drake. And Owner sets it up, which is why Guma dies, because there's no one healing for him. So Damwon make the choice to actually collapse onto the Zaya here. Faker's on the backside of this fight, which allows Damwon to then go onto the music, right? But look at where Owner, Zeus, and Carry are. They're like, I don't care. You guys all on the 80 carry? We're getting Hex Soul, bro. I'm out here just winning the game.
Não foi tão flip não, na real não foi flip não, você viu?
97
ele ficou em cima do Canyon Law ali, ficou em cima do Canyon Law. Não sei nem que ele correu o Canyon Law. Ele só ficou em cima dele ali, ele foi indo pra trás, quando dava pra virar ele... Quando dava pra virar, ele só virou e acabou. Jogou bem. Não sei nem porque que o Canyon Law tava se afastando.
Damwon, but not going to be the case
here.
So now T1, they're just sitting on an Elder Soul.
É a aposentadoria.
Hextech Soul, we do have an Elder Drake on the way.
Practically an Elder with how valuable it is for the comp.
Really nice. And
fico até feliz que eu tenho essa, mano.
So
é que eu não jogo sempre na mesma conta, mas
roll it into another objective. Faker has teleport. They can try to set up vision here. Damwon did get the Scuttle Crown, which is certainly going to help them out a bit.
And, okay, this is a bit of a scary spot to be in as T1.
Ooh, Canyon.
Okay, I thought there were more here. Never mind.
Totally caught by himself, and he is just dead.
Ciao.
Yeah. I actually thought the rest of Damwon here were collapsing in faster. I mean, the idea was correct. Like, oh, we catch them there, but the rest of the team isn't there. And now T1 have a free Baron. So,
o cara só não tá na fight agora.
The idea was good there from Canyon. Like, I don't want to criticize it too much because if they actually are faster than Trap, have a little bit of vision control of their own jungle, then maybe they pull it off. But again, T1's vision has been so good. The Umbro Glaive really helping them out here in that regard. And Canyon thinks he is setting up a play, but in fact he's the one who's getting trapped and baited in.
Yeah, I think he should have just waited for his team to come in a bit more if he was going to try to clear out some vision and try to scout things out.
Maybe just assuming he was tanky enough, but
por esse motivo, sneaky spot, and it really comes down to the vision that you were talking about, right? I mean, Canyon didn't have anything outside of one control ward that you saw.
Eu escolhi essa armação, ela veio da China, entendeu? Mas ela tem aquele turn off watch, tá ligado? Aquele bagulho preto que você, ó, tá ligado? Tem o óculos normal, aí você, cadê? Aí tem um negocinho preto que você, tá ligado? De óculos escuros, porque eu não consigo usar óculos escuros sem brown, né? Aí, então eu pensei, mas tudo é a primeira vez, né? Nunca usei óculos escuros na vida. Justamente porque, entendeu? Não consigo usar com grau, não consigo usar sem grau, quer dizer. Tenho 18 anos na cara, não uso óculos escuros tipo direito, assim, por sei lá, mais de 10 minutos, mano, eu nunca usei óculos escuros mais de 10 minutos, acho. Agora eu consigo usar, tipo, eu consigo usar sem grau por um tempo, né? Mas eu prefiro não usar. Porque eu gosto. Ele errou a play. Ele deu faltou o ward. Faltou o ward não, faltou o W. Nossa, lá o Camille mais Galha. Esse draft ficou bonito. Nessa parte o draft ficou bonito. Eu achei que ia ser até Camille forte, porque... Entendeu? Você pode pular à vontade ali, abriu da zona de first shot. Oh!
T1 are gonna put an end to this game now.
Viu? Ele deu E, depois que ele matou o segundo, ele deu o E, ultou, que é pra pegar, né? Pegar o estilo dos caras ali.
In Damwon Kia's phase, as they will have some fun here. Boost up their KDA. That is going to be game number 1, going the way of T1 here in this match.
I just don't think it can be overstated. The advantage that Nuggery had in the top side of the map, the stable bottom lane, and how poor things looked for Faker. He lost his flash, he was picked, it looked disastrous, and he was like, alright, well T1, you got one Drake, you got a second one, but... Ooh, I don't know if you ever get 3 and 4 this game, but Damwon Kia with that critical mistake on the top side, then just a few more picks that T1 pick up in the later parts of the game because they don't have vision, is why I voted for